Hello all, myself Vedangi and I'm a legal intern at Lexis and Company. So guys, my another topic for today's discussion is the case analysis of Donog versus Stevenson 1932. So let's begin. So talking about the introductory part, so the case of Donog versus Stevenson has a very vital role in the determination of when a duty of care exists in negligence, and the existence of a duty of care which is owed to by the defendant to the complainant is the very first ingredient without which no cause of action shall arise. It can be said that this case has played an important role in the history and the growth of the tort of negligence, and the ruling in this case established the civil law of tort of negligence and the businesses to observe a duty of care towards their customers. Now talking about the facts of this case, so on 26th of August 1928, Mrs. Donog's friend bought her a ginger beer from Velmi Adu Cafe in Pele, and she consumed about half of the bottle, which was made of opaque glass. When the remainder of the contents were poured into a tumbler, so at this point the decomposed remains of a dead snail floated out, causing her shock and severe gastroenteritis. Mrs. Donog was not able to claim through breach of warranty of a contract, and she was not party to the contract. Therefore, she issued proceedings against Stevenson, who was the manufacturer, which snaked its way to the House of Lords. Now, there were certain issues that were raised in this case, that the question for the House of Lords was if the manufacturer owed Mrs. Donog a duty of care in the absence of contractual relations contrary to the established case law, and Donog was effectively a test case to determine if she had a cause of action, not if she was owed any compensation for the damages she suffered. So the law of negligence at the time was very narrow and was very invoked only if there was some established contractual relationship. And an earlier case involving two children and floating mice that held that in the absence of a contract, a manufacturer owed no duty of care towards the consumer when putting a product on the market, except if the manufacturer was aware that the product was dangerous because of a defect and it was concealed from the consumer as a result of fraud, or the product was danger per se and failed to warn the consumer about this. Now talking about the outcome of this case, so the House of Lords found for Mrs. Donog with the leading judgment delivered by Lord Atkin in a 3:2 majority, and the ratio descendi of this case is not straightforward. Indeed, it could be interpreted as a very narrow, as to establish a duty not to sell opaque bottles of ginger beer containing the decomposed remains of a dead snail. Also, the decision has several components, like first, negligence is distinct and separate in tort, and second, there does not need to be a contractual relationship for a duty to be established, and third, manufacturers owe a duty to the consumers who they intend to use their product. However, the primary outcome of Donog and what it is best known for is the further development of the neighbor principle by Lord Atkin, who said that you must take reasonable care to avoid the acts or omissions which you can reasonably foresee would be likely to injure your neighbor. So, Mrs. Donog had proved her averments that she had a cause of action before the law. Now, what we can analyze from this entire case is that it is pertinent to note that the case of Donog versus Stevenson is one of the most classic cases that should be cited whenever the issue as to whether a duty exists in negligence is to be explained or not. So, this case is a good illustration of how logical reasoning is transformed into legal reasoning, because even though each judge is attempting to answer the same question using the same set of facts and by looking at the same common law represented by previously decided cases, so the two contradictory interpretations that were given by Lord Atkin and Lord Buckmaster and the applications of the pre-existing law, they raised a number of questions about the process of reasoning used to come to each judgment. So the major development in the neighbor principle came from Hedley versus Heller case, which concerned economic loss, and it was further stated by Lord Hope that fair, just, and reasonable test will apply not only to the cases that are concerned with economic loss but also to the cases of personal injury claims. So guys, that's all about my discussion on this particular case. I hope you all liked my video. If you guys have any doubt with regard to this video or to the previous one, then you can comment in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Lex Click. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye.